Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of the S.H.Figuarts Captain Phasma Last Jedi version. And as you can see, I have both versions here, and it's actually really funny. You can't tell the difference as much in this shot. The way this camera is, there is a difference. I thought it was going to be more significant. It looked like on the pictures it would be, and it is noticeable, but right now, looking through the camera's eye, it's not as noticeable unless I'm really thinking about it. But let's go ahead and zoom in. So I don't remember if I already pointed it out, but the new version is in front. And this one has a bit more of a shiny armor, sort of trying more so to replicate the chrome feel of it. But it's not as easy to tell in this shot. Well, I'll pull them closer here in a second, but there is a slight difference with that. Other than that, pretty much most things are the same. It includes the same large blaster right here. Alright, there we go. Took a minute to get it to focus on it, which is super annoying. But yeah, there you get that. And then, well, keep focused on the hand camera. And then you got just a bunch of different hands. Some sort of standard relaxed ones. You have ones for holding the staff, you know how it is. And then like gun holding weapons, and then you have this little retracted baton version there. And then obviously, as you can see with the new version, I have the large scale staff in the hand. So yeah, that's pretty much what you get with it. Let's just take a little bit of a closer look, even though I was zooming before, but this is like authentic closer because I'm using my hands. And actually, when I print it up here, you can see it a little bit more. This looks a little more shiny, a little more metally, but it's honestly a lot more subtle than it seemed based on the pictures. But yeah, you can see there is a difference. This just does have a bit more of a shine. And honestly, it does, to the naked eye, look a little bit more noticeable. But still, this just kind of drives home how it's not as significant as before, and the capes are honestly basically the same as well. Articulation wise, it's also the same as the original Phasma, since it's using the same base mold, 360 movement there. You're always going to be a little bit hindered by this cape because it's so heavy. Double elbow joint here, swiveling at the wrists. Nice joint here, got your swiveling. Double knee joint here for movement. Waist and chest. It's basically a first order trooper. You know, and then you got the head articulation, which is slightly hindered by the cape. The mold, I think if I remember right from my original Captain Phasma review, it was on the looser side, and I was a little bit disappointed because I was really looking forward to that figure, and it's the same here. It feels a little bit better, but like I said in my first Order Trooper review, it could be because it's new that it feels like that, but it does feel a little bit better. It's like in that territory of not terrible, like it doesn't feel extremely loose, but it doesn't feel like, oh man, this is a really well put together figure. There's Jaime that was worth the money. Also, this can pop off. There's a little peg there, so you could have him holding that if you wanted, her holding that, excuse me. But it will have the two little pegs on there though, so that you, it's kind of like almost a classic, just, you know, toy you get here in the US where it's got the little pegs sticking off of it. To show that you can like put it on the holster, have him hold it, sorry. Reflex. Anyway, and then this is actually pretty nicely done. It's got kind of a nice shine to it that, there's not a lot of details to it, but it's got the nice shine, and the camera's picking that up pretty well. But yeah, overall, this is a nice figure. I do like it. I definitely think my points still stand about the original one of I wish it didn't feel as cheap as it does. Not like overly cheap, it just does. I wish it felt a little bit more worth my money, that's what I mean. It's kind of hard feeling to describe unless you're really familiar with Figuarts. But if you do have the original Captain Phasma Figuart from The Force Awakens, I do not recommend upgrading. Not because this is bad, but it's just not really worth the money. If this was a $10, $15 figure, maybe if you really wanted it. But for the price of Figuarts, I can't really recommend picking this up. Just for the very minor changes and whatnot. If you did not pick up a Force Awakens Figuart for Phasma and you really want to Figuart for Phasma, this is the one to get. It is slightly better, but it's honestly, it's more noticeable to the naked eye, but even then, it's not as noticeable as I thought it would be. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's Dawson Rider, signing out.